Kiss. Welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Daniel Gutierrez. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon, and thank you for the sweet message. It was very, very nice. And Daniel wants to know, if Levita was the one that returned to the house instead of Kelsey, how far do I think she would have gone? That is a great question. I don't know. I feel like she wouldn't have gone very far, unfortunately. I would have liked to have seen her come back and go far, but I feel like a lot of her allies are gone now. I mean, Dallas was loyal to her. He's gone. I feel like the only people who would really want to work with her, possibly, would be Joel and maybe Nikki. And, like, what's Nikki gonna do? I think she's really good at competition, so maybe she would be able to stick around for a little while. You never know, though. You never know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so let's talk about what's going on in the house. Yesterday was crazy, guys. Okay, so the house guest won a pizza/cocktail party for cleaning up the house. That's pretty awesome. So they were all excited about this. They were getting dressed up for pizza. You know what? They don't have much going on, so let's just let them enjoy that. But when the alcohol came out, the shenanigans began. So for some reason, whenever they have a significant amount of alcohol on Big Brother Canada, they like to play spin the bottle. So they set up this rule, like, if you don't want to do the kiss, you can do a truth instead, because, like, a lot of the guys were like, oh, I don't want to kiss another guy, forget that. So they were all having a pretty good time with this game for the most part. Jared was not into it. He was like, yeah, I don't do nudity and I don't do kissing. Fine, whatever. Phil was annoyed because a couple times there were situations where it was like either Phil landed on Nick or Nick landed on Phil, and everybody was like, kiss, 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 and they were like, no incest, gross. So he didn't even want to kiss his brother on the cheek, but you know, remember like a few weeks ago when he like licked his armpit? That was disgusting. Alright, so then things got, like, really insane when Kelsey spun and it landed on Nick. So, we know that Jared is extremely jealous, even though he's not really with Kelsey, but especially when it comes to the brothers. So, Phil was telling him, like, don't do it, Nicholas, don't do it, no! Because he doesn't want to have to put out that fire. But they did kiss. It was like a friggin' peck on the lips, get over it. But Jared was like really angry. And then it happened again. But this time, Phil made Nick pick the truth. And he was like, fine, we'll do truth. Oh my god. So now it's time for cocktail party fallout. So after Jared was like stewing by himself in the hot tub, he's just like, ugh. So then eventually Kelsey joins him out there and they have this long argument. He's like, I feel so disrespected. You did the one thing that you knew would bother me. And he's like, you knew that I would be upset and you went ahead and did it anyway. You could have just picked truth, which is true. She could have picked truth, but get over yourself. And of course, he is talking about specifically when Kelsey kissed Nick. He doesn't care about when she kissed Tim or Joel or Raul or like anybody else. He's only upset about the Nick kiss. So Kelsey's like, I think you're overreacting a bit. It was a stupid game. Nick is like some 20-year-old kid. You need to get over yourself. So this was going round and around in circles. I mean, this went on for like at least half an hour, if not longer. And Jared's like, oh, no, I'm being ridiculous, but you knew I would have reacted this way, and you did it anyway. So she should have known that you were going to be an asshat, and then just not have done it. Ugh, I'm sorry, but I'm like totally team Kelsey on this. This is like so stupid. So Kelsey's like, my intentions were not to piss you off. I'm not going to change. Like, get over it. So then Maddie and Ramsey were complaining up in the HOH room. They're like, Jared made the game weird. He made it weird. She was also, Maddie was kind of pissed because I guess it landed on her a few times for Jared and he chose truth instead of kissing her. So she was upset about that. Meanwhile, Tim, Nikki, and Cass were all chatting about the Jared and Kelsey drama because, I mean, like, everybody knew what was going on. They knew that Jared was pissed. So, and they could hear them fighting, too. So Nikki's like, well, Kelsey better get used to this because it's going to be even worse outside of the house. She's going to be running around, making out with everybody, and Jared's going to be like, even worse. So Tim is bringing up an important point. He's like, this just shows even more that Kelsey has to stay this week because she makes Jared so weak. He's so, like, not focused on the game, and it's great for everyone else. So back up in the HOH room, eventually Maddie and Ramsey start arguing. Maddie is upset because Ramsey has been talking to Kelsey, and Kelsey keeps calling him darling, and Ramsey's just like, why are you getting mad at me for, like, something that she did? It's ridiculous. So then she turns it into a game argument, and she feels like she really sticks her neck out a lot for the two of them, and Ramsey does not really do that, and I'd have to agree. Just look at how Ramsey threw the HOH competition this week. It's ridiculous. So they were going back and forth about that for a little while, but then Ramsey was really saved by the bell because Tim, Nikki, and Cass went up to the HOH room. So, of course, they were all talking about the Jared and Phil freakouts. Because Phil kind of ruined the game, too. It pretty much ended the second time that Phil was just like, I'm not going to kiss my brother. So then Tim brings up again, like, we need to keep Kelsey here to mess Jared up. And everybody's just like, yeah, it makes sense. All right, so here's where things get a little bit confusing. This was a real, like, wait, what moment. So Tim, Raul, and Jared were all in the pool, having a good time, just bros being dudes. And then all of a sudden, they all decide they're going to go skinny dipping. So they're, like, naked in the pool. I thought Jared didn't do nudity. What is this? So then they put their suits back on when Kelsey joined in. And then Tim showed Kelsey and Raul his penis piercing. Jared was okay with that? What? I don't understand these people. Alright, so this morning, a lot of the house guests were, like, feeling some type of way, meaning hungover. But Jared was trying to make some game moves because we've got a power veto ceremony coming up. Like, we need to get serious here. So he had separate conversations with Raul and Kelsey, and he was like, you guys need to go talk to Maddie about the replacement nominee. You need to try and get the brothers up on the block, because if we only have one of us up there, there's still a chance that we could all stay. So you need to tell Maddie that Kelsey is not going to go home against Raul, so her plan of getting rid of Jared or Kelsey is going to fail, so she should put up the brothers instead. And we will promise her safety for next week. But he was like, yeah, but we're not actually going to stick with that. We're not actually going to keep that promise. So Raul and Kelsey were both like, nah, she's not going to put up the brothers. We're not going to bother with that. They've already, like, decided that Raul's going home this week, basically. So it's time for the power veto ceremony. They got it done with pretty early this morning. Jared used the power veto on himself, of course, and then, as expected, Maddie nominated Raul, and apparently Kelsey's speech was a little over the top. Alright, so now that we know that either Raul or Kelsey will definitely be going to the jury this week, Jared's trying to make plans for next week. So they're thinking, well, if Kelsey goes, Raul and Jared are going to want people to think that they're not working together. I mean, they pretty much stopped working together for real last time. But honestly, I don't think Kelsey's going home, so I don't think they're going to have to worry about that. But then Jared was talking about what he would do if he won HOH, and he's like, maybe I would put up the brothers and Ramsey, with the brothers being the target. He really only would want to nominate Ramsey so that he would have, like, a strong player in the power veto competition, and then if one of them comes down, put up Maddie. But, like, if you do that, Maddie could win the power veto and take down Ramsey. But I guess he would still like to see the brothers go home, so I guess it's a win-win for him. Alright. The house guests participated in some sort of luxury competition today, sponsored by The Brick, or as I like to call it, The Brick. And Tim won the competition. It was, I guess, a gift card, so he got money to spend at The Brick. But he wants to give the prize to charity because he's like, I'm not going to buy furniture and then, like, ship it to Australia. Like, they're not going to do that. So he wants to, like, give that away. We'll see. But I don't know what the competition was actually like. They didn't really talk about it that much. So Cass and Maddie were chatting up in the HOH room. They're both sick of Raul's attitude. I don't know if he had some sort of outburst during the competition or what, but he thinks that he's the star of the show, and they're sick of that because, of course, they think they're the stars. So Maddie is also pissed that Raul is assuming that she has some sort of deal with the brothers, and he's like broadcasting that all over the place. But they're like, you know what? It's fine. He's going home. Whatever. So then this is really sad because Maddie was like, oh my god, I just love us, meaning her, Cass, Tim, and Ramsey working together. And Cass is just like, yeah, Tim and I love it too. But this morning, Cass and Tim were talking about how they definitely want to go after Maddie and Ramsey. And they like want to work with Jared and Kelsey. Ew! I'm sorry, but that's gross. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. How about that party last night, though? Let me know, and until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.